Good morning, guys. I will try to keep it a little more succinct. So today we're just doing goat milk and yogurt. So you can make your breakfast the night before, kind of like yesterday I showed you how to make dinner at breakfast. Today I'm going to show you how to make breakfast, yes, at dinner. So, okay, this is my pitcher that I also use to pull hot water out of the big container with. And that in there is creme fraiche. Now, if you're going to be using fresh milk that you haven't pasteurized, you need to have a start that is strong enough and happy enough that it wants to just start even in competition with the bacteria in the raw milk. So that is why I use the creme fraiche start, is because if I use plain yogurt from the grocery store, it's not strong enough to really compete with unpasteurized milk. So what I wanted to show you is how I'm going to start my next batch, because I just milked the goats, and I wish I could show it to you. We'll see if you can see the clear liquid. Can you see that there's milk solids in the bottom that look more like they're ready to be made into cheese? And there's kind of, the whey has already come out and it has separated. So creme fraiche is actually meant to be a cream, kind of like sour cream but thicker. And so you won't get necessarily the same results with whole milk as you would if you use just straight cream. It won't be as thick, but it's very sweet, and the flavor, especially with goat's milk, is delightful. So what I wanted to do, if I can find my cup. What did I do with my cup? One thing about tiny living is that sometimes you don't have enough dishes for everything that you want to do. And I want to save the whey to make pancakes later, but I don't have a jar. So let me think, what do I have? All right, so maybe what I'll do is I'll show you the whey. I'll show you the whey. Okay, so I'm going to pour off the whey, and you can see that it's quite clear, and it's full of protein. So when bodybuilders have whey-based protein powders, that's what this is. And you can use it as a replacement for water to have a more healthy water replacement in recipes. You can use it also to soak things like beans in. So I'm going to very carefully move this, and when I find a jar, I'm going to put it in a jar. All right, so now what's left in there is quite solid. You can see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ladle most, pardon me, I'm going to ladle most of it out into a bowl for the girls' breakfast. And it was about 2/3 full, so that's just enough for breakfast if you're also eating something else. So these are store-bought eggs, but I do like to keep them out on the counter so that I remember to use them quickly. And because we are going out to get chickens today, I am trying to kind of get into the habit of how I do this. I keep eggs out on the counter. When you're homestead, no, I can't, I'll try to stay focused. I'm not going to talk about eggs. I have eggs there. I need to also make them for breakfast. And I wonder, sorry guys, I'm still trying to get figured out how to set things up. So this is my wash water for the morning. I'm going to move that to the side. And with washcloths, when you're off grid, when they're wet at the end of the day, what you do is you take them outside, you put them on your clothesline and pin them so they dry out. And that way you're not putting them into your laundry and having them mold your laundry. So this one was my washcloth from last night, so I do need to take that out and put it onto the clothesline. This is paper towel. I use the small paper towels, the really short ones, and after I use them for something, I put them in the firebox or put them in the compost. So even though it's because I don't like to use plastic, and these, they turn into food if you put them in your compost. They turn into fire if you put them in your wood stove. So I just wanted to show you those also little tips. And then the beans, I need to stay focused. Okay, here's my rinse water, because I need to be able to tip you down a little bit. Now I have found that Rubbermaid lids work really well to contain a mess. in a Homestead kitchen. So what you're going to see right now is a lid, and it's going to look like it's dirty, but it's not dirty. It's just melted. So there's my surface. Hopefully you guys can see that really well. All right, so here's my bowl. At this point, it's going to be tricky to try and pour through that pour spout. So I'm going to reach in and grab it, and you can see how thick it is. And the creme fraiche has a very different flavor from normal yogurt. It is exceptionally sweet. And there's one dish. I do love having the little hooky thing whenever I'm making anything milk related, because it keeps it from falling down and in. Like if you're making cheese or something, it's nice to have it. If you guys have questions, I really will get to them, I promise. I just really wanted to stay a little bit more on target this morning, and for whatever reason, I do get a little frazzled. All right, there's two. Where's the other one? There it is. All right. And then the third. And this is very, very high in good bacteria, and it's high in protein. And so I'm just going to leave a little bit in there and let it be my start for the next batch. So there's that. I'm going to put this little puppy in my wash water. And off grid, if you have something that's super dirty, I do like to wipe it down with a paper towel first before I put it in the wash water, because I don't want to go through a lot of water. All right, so there's breakfast ready. And now I'm going to show you how to filter the milk. So this is a milk filter. And if you don't have, usually I am filtering into, usually I'm filtering into a jug, but this pitcher doesn't work quite that well for this. So I get these at retail. Good morning, everybody. I'm trying really hard to make sure I get the full story in this time, so I will chat as soon as I have this finished. All right, so here's the morning's milk. You can see that. And I hope I can do this. Usually I do this on the wood burning stove. But there's the milk. That's from 2 goats. We have really good goats. And now I just pour it in slow. And when you first bring it in, you'll let it sit for a few seconds and let the foam go away. It filters a lot faster. Can you guys see that? And yes, it is difficult to filter into this particular jug. Much easier into a mason jar. And again, I use the creme fraiche start. And I'm kind of thinking about getting some of those into the Etsy store, because they're really worth having. And they really stay true to their type with fresh raw milk. Whereas a lot of, even the powder forms, if you the specialized powder forms for yogurt specifically don't handle raw milk well. This is the only one I have found that handles raw milk that hasn't been heated. I'm just trying to watch and see when it's going to hit my level that I need to stop pouring. And then the rest of it's going to go to the cat. Because I don't have enough jars. Because they have to be sterilized, honey. And when we have eggs and when we have milk, it's amazing how much our grocery bill can lower. And when we pick up the chickens this morning, we are getting a couple roosters. So we will be butchering those roosters rather than feeding them. We might keep one if they're super friendly. But probably most likely we'll just butcher one right off the bat. All right, so I'm going to put this in the compost. And then this goes to be washed. One of the reasons I like to have my wash water here ready is so that I can wash my hands as I cook. So there's that. And then I'm going to take my little paper towel, because I don't want bugs getting into it. And I'm going to pull it up through there. We'll see if it works. Last night I did not have it that full, and I don't really want it soaking up the milk. There we go. So I'm gonna go put this on the wood stove so that it's out of the way, not on my washing surface. And then this is going to go out to the cats. We'll bring it up. All right, so there is my yogurt breakfast, and now let's see what all the comments were. J Red is here, Maniac Grammy's here, Lloyd Peterson is there. So we're going to be here at least a month. I have a niece that is graduating, but it's probably going to take me longer than that to get the house ready to sell and or rent again. And so there we go. We're going to go ahead and have breakfast. Was there anything else I want to tell you about? The solar oven yesterday, we had to clean it with white vinegar. As I was reading the instructions, we cleaned it with white vinegar for a couple hours. We let it steam, and in that time I lost my daylight. So we did get the stove up to 300 and it was working really well, and then we had rain clouds come in. So there is a little pellet option that you can use to put into the stove so it still cooks, but at that time all I did is I brought the beans in, I put them in the pressure cooker for a few minutes, and we still had dinner. So as I learn how the solar oven works, I'll give you more tips and tricks. And tomorrow morning what I want to do is make biscuits and show you how I put them into the into the aircrete oven, whether we have it in the house or outside on the propane. It's a great little oven. And thanks for watching. Make sure to share this if you enjoy it. And I do still have one more video of the sheep wagon that I need to get out, but last night we had more chores that happened than what I anticipated, and I didn't get it edited, so I will bring it up as soon as I have it done. Make sure to go check out our Facebook. Tonight I will be spinning live on Facebook. That's Dirtpatcheaven. And then Instagram, I'm showing other things that are happening here on the farm, just in little tiny blips. And again, I will be trying to get some edited videos up here soon, but I really enjoy this format because it lets me show you what's really going on here in the kitchen. Hay from Sapulpa. Hey, you're where we get our grain, or not our grain, our hay from for the ponies. We have one pony that's super fat right now, and she has to be on hay. So we're going to go get chickens this morning, so make sure to stay tuned in. It's easier for me to show cooking live than it is to be walking around trying to find a setup to show you milking goats or feeding chickens. So hopefully you like this. If you have a request, the biscuits we're making will be paleo, completely gluten-free, and other things that we like to make, I'll have to see what I can work in, but hopefully you enjoy this format. Also go check out our Etsy store if you're into fiber or prepper stuff. I'm trying to get that stocked a little bit better. We do have recipes for soap. We do have recipes for cheese on the Etsy store. So that is in the description, and we will talk to you later.